Hello, what's up guys, Panzer here, and today I'm taking a look at Loadout. Now this is a newly launched free-to-play title now available on Steam that is developed by a company called Edge of Reality. If that sounds familiar, you might have heard of them because they worked on titles such as the Mass Effect trilogy, The Sims 3, Dragon Age Origins, and even the original Sims. So they're definitely not strangers to the game industry. They are definitely well and truly veterans who have worked on some very big titles before. So what is Loadout? Well, as I mentioned, it is a free-to-play title, and it is a third-person shooter. But it makes absolutely zero apologies for what it is, because it is possibly the lewdest and crudest type of game you'll ever play. You're gonna see all sorts of strange things happen, but it's all in good humor. And if you have a good sense of humor, this is something that you're definitely gonna enjoy. But before that, I do have to point out something in the options menu because I think this is a bit of an issue. Right here you'll see that, okay, they have a FPS counter available. You can enable or disable that. There's a colorblind mode, also very useful. But if you look at the graphics quality option, it shows it as a slider which only has low, medium, and high. And I don't know about you guys, but as a PC gamer, I don't think that is particularly acceptable. Personally, I feel that there should be a lot more graphics options available, especially since not everybody's machine is the same, and I'd really like to know exactly what I'm changing when it comes to this sort of graphics quality stuff. But one thing's for certain, when I first booted this game up, I had a huge amount of lag that was happening within the first minute or so of playing the match, and I believe that was probably because everything was still loading in. However, since I turned the graphics down to medium for future games, it actually didn't really seem to cause that much lag anymore. That being said, once everything was fully loaded in, the game gave me about 60 frames per second at high quality, so actually it wasn't really too bad after all. This is not a game that is hugely graphically intensive, but at the same time there are some things that may cause some issues, especially when it comes to driver conflicts and whatnot. So definitely having the option to disable certain things about the graphics would be a good thing, and I think it should definitely be there. I can't understand why it wouldn't be. But of course, all that aside, I am here to answer the one question that you're here to find out the answer to, and that is it any good? Well, let's find out. So in a nutshell, the game is all about the customization. Now you have customization of weapons. You can basically build them all the way up. You start off with these few different chassis to start building them with, and then you add various attachments such as barrels, magazines, stocks, what have you. And you can even change the ammunition types to have different effects. For example, you could create a rocket launcher that fires explosives, or you could create a rifle that has electrical bullets, or so on and so forth. There are huge amounts of possibilities available. All of these topped off with the ability to name your weapon whatever you wish. Now, I do wish they had added some form of checking in the game to make sure like some things maybe were censored out, but then again, this is a game that's already so quite crude to begin with, so I think having certain words as part of your weapon's name is not going to be a huge issue after all. Now, all of these items that you can purchase right here are all purchased using the in-game currency, which is known as bloots. It's right there at the bottom right there in blue, and all of these things you can earn through playing the game. And in addition, your character has some progression, so you can level up and all that, so there is some XP and all this. And your different parts for weapons can actually progress as well as you use them. So you can unlock various upgrades in that through the tech tree that's located at the top of your screen right there, or purchase through the shop. Now, all these things, when you buy them, you can actually test them out, and this is a really useful feature because in some cases you don't know if something's even worth spending the money on. So you can actually attach it to your weapon, test it out, and if you don't like it, you don't have to waste the money. It's really that simple. Some cases, I wouldn't ever buy some things for my weapons, but that's my personal preference, and that's what this game is all about. So you might be wondering then, if it's a free-to-play game, where is the microtransactions? Inevitably, there will be some. And in this case, this is no exception. Right here, you can see there's a little icon with gold coins. This is known as space bucks. Space bucks are the real money currency. So if you just click it right here, you can actually see the prices of things as they are at the time of recording. These are all subject to change, but for now, these are the actual prices. And if you can look at it right now, you can actually see the prices are fairly reasonable, but in the end, what is this actually for? Now, you may have noticed that the weapon customization doesn't seem to have anything that you could buy using this currency. And that's absolutely right. Age of Reality have stated on the website, the Loadout website for that matter, that the game is not going to be pay to win. So, of course, that would mean the weapons themselves don't have any special parts that you could buy with space bucks only. So, in actual fact, you have to go through and find out what these things are for. You'll find that if you go to the Outfitter, where you can customize your character with different costume items, that's where it all is. So if you want a unique character that looks different to somebody else, and buy some clothes or accessories for it, that's where your real money's gonna come in. Now, these items are purely cosmetic. I haven't seen a single item provide a single advantage. In fact, in some cases, they may even provide a disadvantage just by being more noticeable. I don't know. But definitely there's all sorts of things you can buy. So there's hats, shirts, pants, in some cases bikinis, thongs, or straight up nudity actually. Or even different taunts as well, which you can use when defeating your enemies. All very good stuff right here. So all of these things are for paid currency only. I haven't seen any that you could unlock for free. But it doesn't seem to be entirely necessary to have any of these things in order to play. In fact, I quite like some of the original characters. They do have some of the, I suppose, movie archetypes, and it's quite fun to watch them just get horribly destroyed in a way that you would have expected in their movies. But I digress. Let's have a look at the actual game, and we'll see where this is going. Now, before we start, I'll just give you a quick rundown on the different types of games that you have, and there's a casual mode and a competitive mode, both of which have their own different game types. Currently, competitive only has one game type, but it's more of a deathmatch style game, which combines elements of a lot of other casual game modes. The casual game modes are quite interesting, actually. Instead of having a just straight up team deathmatch, they have a couple of game modes, such as Death Snatch, which is more of a kill confirmed dog tag collecting kind of game, where you pick up something that's dropped from a dead enemy, and that actually helps to score points. So it's you do have to play pretty strategically, and it is pretty anti-camper as well, which I will definitely show you right now. You can actually see that I'm sitting in this little corner right here, and although, you know, I'm getting kills and stuff, I'm getting points for it, I'd actually get a lot more points and be helping the team if I'm out there actually confirming or collecting the drops from these kills. At the same time, another type of game mode, which I actually really like a lot, is this game mode called Jackhammer. And you can see right here, the objective of the game is to collect this big hammer. Now, the game itself functions pretty similarly to Capture the Flag, and honestly, it is a very nice spin on it, because in the past, if you played Capture the Flag, you could pick up the flag, and then your teammates would have to protect you as you went back. In some games, they let you shoot. In some games, they take away that option from you, making you a transporter for the flag only. In this case, they change it up. Not only do you pick up the score item for your team, you also can turn that item, which is a giant hammer, into a really effective weapon. So it comes down to the player. Do you want to risk losing the score item for more kills and more points on a capture, or do you just want to run back to the base with it? It's up to you, but you're definitely not going to be completely useless on your own, because that hammer, as you're going to see right here, is really powerful. And in fact, in some cases, it can one-shot most other players near you. You don't even have to hit them directly. It is really just that powerful. And there's a whole host of other game modes right here, but you can see the art style is very similar to what you might expect from something like Team Fortress. Definitely it isn't something that you would expect to have a huge amount of toll on your machine. Definitely not going to use a huge amount of resources, but it definitely looks nice in its own right. And you know, all things considered, they actually have a very unique style to it. The death animations are pretty funny. There's a good amount of them as well, so you won't happen to see the same ones all that often. And at the same time, it's still hilarious to watch your enemies run around, you know, with their legs shot off or something. It is also quite comical to watch parts being blown off your character as well. In some cases, you could have an entire hole blown in your chest and still be running around, or in this particular instance, actually running around without a head, but rather just having the brain and eyes attached to the stump. It's pretty comical and pretty funny. This, like I said, this is a game that makes no apologies for what it is. It is exactly as it is. If you're gonna see your enemy come up to you after having shot you down and twerk over your dead body, you're gonna see it. That is something you will see in this game. And it really is not gonna, you know, apologize for doing that. It is really just out there. So, you know, all things considered, however lewd or crude this game might seem, it has character, and it really is a lot of fun to play. So, is it any good? Well, go ahead and try it. It's free to play, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So, this is something to watch out for. I'm definitely hoping that more content gets added as well for customization and all that. But right now, it's already shaping to be quite a fun game. So, go check it out. It's free to play on Steam right now. And as always, this has been Panzer, and I'll see you next time.
Quadra kill.